Chelsea boys consoling them, celebrating with the Chelsea fans who've made it over here. What an incredible season. We mustn't forget the part that Frank Lampard has played in it, steering Chelsea through to the group stages. But Clive, Thomas Tuchel has revitalised this season, and he's ended up making amends for losing the final last season. What a turnaround, and how much credit must go to the head coach.
Wow, I've got to come back down onto this planet for sure, because that was magnificent performance from all the players, taking on board what Thomas Tuchel has inspired them to do since his arrival, taking us to another level, and this tonight has done that. And Tuchel has got to take an immense amount of credit for the job that he's done. We've talked about it earlier on in the season when he took over, how we became very difficult to beat, definitely difficult to score against, and you just felt that once we scored, we said it before kick-off, Matt, about getting the first goal, how important. You know, you can talk about Man City. If they had scored first, it would have been very, very similar. But we got the goal, and Kai Havertz scored a terrific goal, aided by both Timo Werner and Mason Mount, to be honest, to create the opportunity. But he finishes it great, and Chelsea thoroughly, for me, deserve to win.
And it's not just about tonight. Beating Real Madrid, beating Atletico Madrid, beating Porto. They're three powerhouses of European football. Absolutely incredible stuff. Andreas Christensen coming on, thrown on 10 minutes before the end of the half. Thiago Silva going off. That could have put the kibosh on things. That would have been a torpedo to a lot of teams' ambitions. Chelsea just dealt with it, responded brilliantly.
Yeah, we didn't lose ourselves, did we, when Thiago Silva went off? You know, there would have been a lot of disappointments out there, and the players remained focused. And we talked about this as the second half wore on. You know, the fact that Man City were going to have a lot of possession, we knew that. We sat deep, we sat tight, we sat compact. We talked about Thomas Tuchel and the fact that Reece James had played in the back three early on, you know, in the last couple of games, and today we said Azpilicueta will make a difference, and goodness me, didn't he tonight? You know, his interceptions, his reading of the game was terrific, but there were some fantastic performances throughout the Chelsea team tonight.
Could you ever have envisaged this, not only at the start of this season, but back to the time when you were scoring goals to stop Chelsea from drifting into nowhere and maybe going out of business, now champions of Europe for a second time? It's
incredible, Matt, it really is. You know, your football club, you dream of them doing something special, being creative, enjoying it along the way as well, with some wonderful goals. And you've got to say the club has been brilliant. You know, Roman Abramovich, I'm sorry, but we're going to have to bring him into the equation. Well, not sorry, but I'm bringing him into the equation as well. Big part of it. And the things we've won over the years, yes, 2012 was magnificent, of course. Tonight, equally as good as 2012, and fantastic for the players, for the staff, for everybody involved with the football club, and it's just great to see.
The history books will say that Kai Havertz was the match winner, and his goal was a brilliant one. But everybody involved played their part tonight, and there are plenty of others who didn't get on who've played parts throughout the campaign too. Let's not forget the contributions of Olivier Giroud, of Tammy Abraham in the group stage, of Callum Hudson-Odoi. They'll all get their medals, but Thomas Tuchel, my goodness me. And to think there were some questioning whether he might be under a bit of pressure if Chelsea hadn't won tonight. He has inspired the Blues from looking like European also-rans, you've got to say, when the group stage finished, to being the very best in Europe, and doing it against the English champions. These are no mugs that Chelsea have beaten tonight.
No, and I think we've already talked about the beating of Real Madrid and Porto. You know, we've gone through it, haven't we, to get here, and now to play. You know, if you'd have asked the question maybe prior to the final, if you'd have wanted to play Man City or somebody else in Europe after beating Real Madrid, you'd have probably taken somebody else in Europe. You didn't want to play Manchester City, but if you're going to be the best, beat the best, and that's what we've done tonight.
Tony Rudiger over there celebrating with the Chelsea supporters. Kai Havertz with a massive smile around his face. He's gone through so much in his first season in English football, but it all seems worth it now. We mentioned maybe Pep Guardiola did one of his tinkering with things for the sake of tinkering with things, and it didn't work for them, but Thomas Tuchel got his team selection absolutely spot on, and the substitutions as well came at the right time, helped shore things up.
Yeah, and I think also, I don't think that Man City actually, if they go back and look at this again, they probably will look at this and say, we haven't really got any complaints. You've got to hold your hands up sometimes and say, do you know what, we've given everything, we've tried everything, Pep's tried everything, but you've got to say, by giving everything, you've lost to a better side on the day.
Thank you so much for your company this evening. Go and enjoy the celebrations. Clive and I certainly will. We're going to hand you back to Joe and the team in the studio. But it's worth repeating, isn't it? Chelsea are the champions of Europe.
Chelsea are champions of Europe. Oh my word! This is ours again.
Remarkable stuff. I mean, truly remarkable. The kings of Europe, and do not underestimate how huge and massive what this is today and what we've just witnessed. This is remarkable. Truly remarkable. A dream that was just unthought of 3-4 months ago. Remarkable stuff. Truly remarkable stuff.
Let me dive in as well, because he's been in tears in the last couple of minutes. It's been absolute pieces. It means so much to win this, Carlton. It's huge.
Yeah,
I almost don't want to touch it. I've not earned the right, but it's. I mean,
what it does for the club, what it does for everybody who's connected to the club, it's a massive. Don't underestimate what's happened tonight, because that performance by those lads, what Thomas Tuchel has brought to the club, from where they were, lounging in 10th position when he came in, to winning the Champions League in half a season. Wow. It's unbelievable.
It is unbelievable.
We're going to have to send you back to your chairs to take a breather, but Abby,
I'm almost speechless, which isn't very good for this show. But I feel like you were saying, Colton, where we were earlier in the season, we didn't even think we'd make a final, and then to put in that performance such a convincing win. I'm just so proud to be a Chelsea fan. It's just. That was an incredible performance, wasn't it? Just like historic, legendary stuff.
There's so many things that you prepare and you think of for the show afterwards, and you think we'll chat about this. But Jen, what can you say?
You can't say much.
You just want to have a big cry.
You just got to work on emotions. You just got to work on emotions, because everything that you felt today, and for the build-up to this day, you must have been like, everyone's nervous. Everyone gets up. Everyone goes to the toilet differently. Everyone might not even be eating during the game. Like, we couldn't really eat. Yeah. So, like, there's just so much nerves going on at the game, and you can't even get your words out. You can't even express your feelings, because it's just one of those things where you've just done it again. You've done it again, and look what happens to people like... I'm seeing so much emotion coming from Jace today. It's beautiful to see.
It's just unbelievable. I mean, I just phoned my wife, my mum and dad. My dad's the reason I support Chelsea. I phoned my 2 boys who are down in Frankie's.
Yeah.
It's just truly unbelievable.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Words can't explain it. Words can't explain it. It's just a feeling. But it's going to take a couple of weeks, probably, as you said, for it to sink in.
I'll be celebrating for at least 2 weeks.
But I'm happy you invited me here to be part of it. And look.
You were the lucky charm, maybe.
I'm definitely not. Don't put that on me.
You weren't at Wembley with him last year, Abby, to be fair. So, mate, it's moments like this. Everyone has that football moment, that memory, and tonight's going to be the night where, in 10, 15 years' time, like we were talking about, trying to remember where you were in 2012, remember what you were eating, remember what you were doing. We're going to have that now. 2021, people are going to be talking about this batch of players. They're going to be talking about Kai Havertz' goal in the Champions League final. Kai Havertz, who this season has had a number of critics as well saying, it's going to take time, he might not be the final player. If this is a poor season, he's just got to win in a Champions League final. I tell you, I'd have that every single season. Just absolutely stunned. I mean, Abby, I would say what's going on social media, but there is... I don't even know if it will be usable, because it's going to be...
it's just going to be different words on there. Like, obviously, we've got to go back to Thomas Tuchel. We have to go back to Thomas Tuchel. Look, what he's done for the club in that short space of time is nothing short of a miracle. Like, it's crazy to think where like the lads were with Frank And you can't even criticise. Like, I found it hard to like Tuchel. I think every Chelsea fan was like that. I found it hard, but then you just saw the way he is with the boys, the way he is with the press, and then you just now see what he was working on. Like, you saw it was clear as day today on how how he set up his defensive units. It was just unreal.
So tactically, he's beaten Pep 3 times now. Like, that is... I
Pep
can't even
get
get
his
my
head
head around
around
it.
it. Pep can't get his head around it. He don't know what day it is right now.
This is Pep, like you said, Pep Guardiola, the man that at the moment people are talking about as one of the greatest football minds ever.
He is. He
has at times been so far ahead of everyone else. He's lapped people. Thomas Tuchel was overcoming 3 times. That second half, we've seen some defensive displays over the years that will put any team to shame. That will stand up. That will stand
even
up.
The second half, the first half even. The first half, Rudiger's challenge, that one against Foden. You got to understand, these little bits and bobs culminate into the final article, the finished article. And that is what happened today. You saw everybody putting their body on the line, the neck on the line, everything was on the line today.
It was.
But you wouldn't, like, Kai Havertz got that goal and he defended that with his life. You know what I mean? And that's what football's about.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's have a little look at us reacting to some moments in the second half. I'm already regretting these. And that's a Jorginho moment.
Oh, referee, give the foul! Give the foul! Go on. Okay. Brilliant!
Come on!
Brilliant!
Love that!
Go on, Christian! Referee!
Blame Kai! Blame Kai!
That's the Christian Pulisic moment that we thought Christian Pulisic had put us 2 up.
You legend! Hey!
Well played! Well played, Tom! Brilliant! South ball referee! Give it to us! Brilliant! Brilliant! Unbelievable! Christensen now! Superb! Superb! Honestly.
Wait and see. I'm trying to be calm. I'm trying to be calm.
That's amazing! Man of the match. Keep defending like that. Come on, boys.
This was the tensest, longest 10 or 15 minutes I think I've ever felt.
Get out!
I've been following Thomas Tuchel with a cup and he's taught me a lot.
Brilliant! Oh!
Jace.
I thought we'd lost Jace a couple of times during the second half, to be honest with you.
Blow your... It's gone. It's gone. Oh my God, imagine that. It's unbelievable! It's unbelievable!
Oh, I've got like that.
It's unbelievable! Unbelievable! It's unbelievable!
Energy, man. Energy's correct. The energy's correct.
I think N'Golo Kanté's the only man that covered more distance than Jason tonight because you could see him pacing up and down.
He was running, in his head, he was running every blade of that grass on that.
Every ball
went from every header.
It is unbelievable. No other words for it. Truly, just remarkable stuff, guys.
I'm a little bit disappointed with you. You didn't get a "It's His Destiny" line in there this time or something.
Well, you know, you can't blame those sort of things, can you? You know, that was just one of those.
In the moment.
But the boys dug in. I mean, in all honesty, I don't remember Mendy having too many nervous moments. There was that shot from Mahrez with a couple of seconds to go. Yeah. Other than that, I mean, we kept them at arm's length, really, but a masterclass. When you go back and look at that game, you think about the first goal. We spoke about the first goal, how crucial it's going to be. Who gets it is going to be absolutely vital to how they play the rest of the game. We get it, it's going to be hard for them to get back in it. They get it, and that's exactly the way the game panned out. We got the goal, got our noses in front, deservedly so, and we hung in there and we stayed there. I mean, just remarkable stuff, boys.
There's a lot to be said, and obviously, tactically, incredible. And it was a fascinating game to watch from a tactical point of view, but also, you had those moments as well. When Thiago Silva goes off, you think, oh, he's so important to us. Christensen come on, didn't miss a beat. I thought he was superb when he come on. Rudiger, who's been a colossus second half of the season. Azpilicueta again, he takes a knock on the knee, literally brushes it off, and he's got good to go again. Every single player to the second. Kovacic when he come on, so important. Everyone to a man, and I suppose that's what you want in big games, Cole. You want players that you can rely on, and when they do get introduced, not to be a little bit gutted you're not starting, but make an impact.
Football's it's a squad game. One thing I learned. Everybody has their role, whether it's coming off the bench, whether it's starting the game. You might actually start with a weaker player in the game and then bring on the stronger player later on in the game, because it's a tactical thing where the manager has to feel it. And in this game, he's got it exactly right. He probably knew that Timo was going to miss a few goals, chances, but he knew he had Kai there. He's planned everything out exactly, and it's gone exactly the way he wanted it. But take nothing away from Man City. They tried. They tried. Like they we can say they were poor, but it was because they wasn't set up properly, and they've been outsmarted by Tuchel's prowess with his tactics.
Just on that, Pep made a point. He actually really wanted to labour the point going into this game about the two games that wouldn't affect the game today, and I think to a point he was right. What he failed to mention was that those two games left him with a bit of a conundrum that he didn't solve today. So although today's game had no bearing on what happened before, indirectly, the result was they did, because it was a worm in his head that was in there, and he didn't come up with a solution to the problem that is Thomas Tuchel.
See, that's the thing, isn't it? There's so many different battles, and I'll tell you what, let's get some reaction, shall we? Because there will be thousands upon thousands, millions of Chelsea fans that want to get involved. Jonathan from the Singapore Supporters Club, how are you, mate?
Yeah, great. One of the best nights.
Mate, if you could do us a favour and try and put into words, because we've really struggled to put into words how on earth we're feeling. What a performance, what a night.
Definitely. What a night. 9 years ago, I was in Singapore too, watching the game. 9 years later, we are the champions again.
Oh, it sounds amazing. It sounds incredible just to hear it, champions again. Jonathan, what have you done? What have you been doing tonight? Did you have a nice, calm atmosphere to watch the game in? Have you got family, friends with you? What's been going on?
Sadly we are locked down in Singapore. So we have to watch it at home. So to us, the game starts at 3 a.m. in the morning, and now it is about 5:15 a.m. My wife is asleep. So I'm the only one in the house.
Jonathan, I love that commitment, mate. That is incredible. Well, but this is what it's about, isn't it? This is what it's about, sharing moments like this. And again, thank you so much for joining us on it, because this is what it's about. Millions of fans across the world all coming together to watch a final. Doesn't matter what time it is, if it's 3 o'clock in the morning for you. I suppose, have you been trying to mute the celebrations a little bit? Because we don't want to wake your wife, do you, of course?
Sure, thank you.
Don't wake your wife
you,
up.
mate. Thank you.
Go and wake her up. Come on. Get out of bed.
Celebrate all day and into the night. Come on.
Pull the quilt off her.
Yeah, get her.
This is what it's about. This is what it's about. It's about fans everywhere in the world, Abby. And, you know, we're lucky enough to be here at Stamford Bridge. I mean, I cannot imagine the noise it's going to be outside. And I think all of us have got cars parked. There's going to be a struggle to get out this evening. So, but it's nights like this that you remember forever. And, you know, there's going to be people, it's been a dreadful year, it's been a terrible year. There's going to be people that have had horrifically difficult personal times in the last year. Moments like this that count that much more special as well, because they feel just something big. It feels that you're part of something. And like Jonathan there, you know, he's watching on Zoom, he's a part of it, he's part of this show.
Amazing, isn't it?
And you feel connected with Jonathan straight away. It's like you've watched the game with him. It's
anybody that's a Chelsea fan, you immediately feel connected to them, don't you? Because it's just like you have such a deep love for this football club. And like you say, after this year, which is one of the most challenging years we've ever been through and might ever go through, the fact that we can actually look back and be like, 2021 wasn't just the year of the pandemic and all the awful things we went through. We won the Champions League with an amazing set of players when nobody thought we would. Like, it's just amazing, isn't it?
Can I just say, we are a ridiculous football club. Yeah. We are truly ridiculous. We do not do things. We do not do things in the way that the trophies should be won. Pep has been there 4 years. His drive and goal was to get to this Champions League final. He has spent billions getting there. Tuchel has been here 3 months, spent not a penny, and picks up the trophy. we are truly a remarkable football club. Truly. There is no other football club that can do it, to win that trophy, the times that we have won it, the 2 times we won it, the way we've won it, with changing managers halfway through it. I mean, I wouldn't change a thing.
It's been a great season. It's been remarkable. A great season.
Well, I tell you what, let's get even more reaction, shall we? Because I think we're going to be joined by a few supporters clubs over there. Good evening. Where are you joining us from? And do us a favour, give us a couple of seconds to breathe and tell us what's been going on, because we are still struggling to catch our breath here. Paul, how are you, mate?
Oh, fantastic! It's unbelievable. Whoa. I had hair at the start of the game. It's fallen out. Oh, what a game. 7 minutes extra. 7 minutes injury time. My hair fell out. What a match, what a performance, what a game, what a club.
Paul, what have you been doing tonight then? What are you a calm watcher of the game, or are you like Jason, where you're bouncing up and down, heading every ball?
After half-time, it was just panic the whole way, but what a performance. City never looked like getting past the defence and Mendy, so... Woo!
Paul, those are the noises again. I think we're going to be hearing a lot of those, because it feels... Yeah. Like Jason, Abby and Carlton have all said, it feels difficult to put into words how we're hit. This is a Champions League final. This is the 3rd Champions League final in the club's history, in the history of the football club. There are football clubs that are perennial winners of their nation that will never get to a final, that never get over that semi-final hurdle. We've done it again in a year where we've changed the manager, where at one point we were languishing outside the top 4, and even the most ambitious Chelsea fan didn't think we'd make the Champions League next year. Now we're going into it as holders. How has it happened, Paul? Tell me.
Unbelievable.
It's a team performance. I mean, you got to give a lot of props to Frank to start it off, and then Tommy T to take over. You know, we had Atletico, we'd Porto, we'd Madrid. Everybody said Chelsea aren't getting through any of those teams, and whoa, we just took them out.
Paul, I'm asking this in a cautious voice, but how are you going to celebrate tonight?
Unfortunately, we're still in lockdown here in Ireland, so everybody's at home watching individually. What we would have loved to have the full Dublin Supporters Club in a packed-out venue, absolutely going wild. But I'm here. I've got my Coke Zero and celebrating into the night.
Love that. It's a good drink, and as well, to be honest with you, Paul, the night is still young, so you might need a bit of that caffeine, do you think?
Absolutely. So I think we'll be going on adrenaline for a couple of weeks till the new season kicks off.
I think you're absolutely right, man. Paul, thank you so much.
Get us back to London as soon as possible.
Absolutely, mate. We'd love to have you back at the ground very, very soon. Paul, thank you so much, mate. Have a great night. Thank you to all the Dublin supporters club as well.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, mate.
Champions of Europe, we've done it again.
Come on.
We've done it again. We've done it. It feels surreal. What are we now? 20 minutes after the game has finished, it still doesn't quite
like it's a minute after, really.
Sunk in.
Do you know what it is? I was thinking just now. I was thinking, like, obviously it's been a long season, yeah, but everybody's played their part. Everyone's played their role. Even Frank at the start of the season, to where he had to hand over the reins as well to Tuchel. It made the players realise they needed to dig in. And then Tuchel came in, and then they did do what they had to do, and that's what's contributed to get to this point. Everything it's funny how things work out. You were saying just now that you just can't believe it. Like it's just been a crazy season, but in life things have a chronicle order that you don't even actually understand, and this is what's happened today. It was supposed to happen. It was written. But you just didn't know it was going to happen, and that's the beauty of it.
It was written, wasn't it? It does feel like that. With 2012,
the whole way through.
It's just.
The whole way through, we were quiet. The whole way through, everyone said it, and we did it tongue in cheek in every Matchday Live afterwards. We're going.
You did. I know you did. You kept mentioning Istanbul. I'm like,
I bought a Turkish phrase book in January. Mate. I thought we were all setting a plane. I got an Airbnb booked over there still tonight. I couldn't get money back for. No, in all seriousness, that's exactly it, though, isn't it? We did. You do it tongue in cheek, and you think you're trying your luck a little bit. It's a Champions League final. So many things have got to go your way, but one by one, things line up. Things start going your way. Jace, you even mentioned beforehand, it felt 2012 like. It felt 2012 like. You're going into the game.
Similarities.
Against it a little bit, because again, much favoured Manchester City side, but we've got their number.
And we've done it a hard way as well. You think about coming out. We won the group, right? Frank topped the group, so it's important. We mentioned Frank and Joe and give them a huge amount of kudos for getting for in a position where we can go in advance. We only draw Atletico Madrid. I mean, the one team that everyone wanted to avoid, we managed to get. we dispatched of them in confident style. And after that, when the draw comes around, we wanted to avoid the big heads. PSG, Bayern Munich, Man City. They're the three we really wanted to avoid. And we had a kind draw, so we could see a route through to the final. The worst way scenario was going to meet one of those in the final, which we did today. But then you saw a route through, OK, we can get through here. We've got Real and Liverpool. We can take. They're not particularly great form. And then all of a sudden things open up. But, and it is an absolute huge but, you still got to take care of business, And my word, what a remarkable season it's been. It's unbelievable. Honestly, I keep saying it. It is truly unbelievable.
It is.
You're absolutely right to mention Frank and Jody, because the work they did last season in difficult circumstances, pandemic, transfer ban, all the above, younger players giving them an opportunity. Look at tonight. Reece James, arguably the best player on the pitch. A year and a half ago, he hadn't even made his debut. I mean, he made his debut in the Carabao Cup against Grimsby, didn't he, in Frank's first, when Frank took over initially. And you think, Reece James was playing centre midfield for Wigan 2 and a bit years ago in the Championship. Now, he arguably looked the best player on the pitch.
I thought he was outstanding today. Him and N'Golo, the pair of them were brilliant. I'm going to shade it to Reece because he was asked more questions. N'Golo does what maybe we undervalue. We take for granted what N'Golo does because just N'Golo does what N'Golo does. But Reece today, I thought was just. I think it's his best performance I've seen in the Chelsea shirt. Sublime today. Reece.
Shows you that he can rise to the big occasion, and that will bode well for England as well.
Great show.
So you need to understand what this game does for his confidence going in to a big Euros. Environment like that, it's massive.
Yeah, Gareth Southgate watching that.
He'll be watching that thinking, this has helped my team selection untold.
Yeah, Reece and Mount, both of them.
100%.
Absolute shoe-in for the England team.
Let's have a little look at some more reaction, and this is the scenes at the fan park at full time. Pictures courtesy of BT Sports, so thank you for allowing us to use them. Have a little look at this. I mean, oh my word! Look at that!
Wow, scenes!
Look at that!
I felt like I was in that with Jason next to me. And about 10 of them with Jason next to me.
Wow.
Unbelievable. Where's that?
Oh, there's a little flare in there and all sorts of things.
It's all right.
Be
safe, but be safe.
Seeing all these celebrations then actually makes it feel real because I still feel like it hasn't really set in.
Yeah,
but talking to these fans, seeing the celebrations, it's like
my boys are down in Frankie's right now. I went to see him just before the game kicked off, and I saw him at half-time, and the atmosphere at half-time was unbelievable. But when I arrived, I'm guessing the same for you guys, the crowds were building outside. I cannot wait to get myself amongst them. And what time's this show end?
Take that suit off or what? It'll be ripped up.
I don't care.
He's not getting home with that jacket on. There's no way. That jacket's making it home.
It's just going to be shirt and socks, isn't it? Walking down the King's Road.
But this is it, Abby. I mean, now we've got. I mean, there'll be a lot of sore heads tomorrow morning because it feels like it's going to be a late night. You've got to celebrate these moments because, again, last time we were 9 years ago. It could. I mean, this Chelsea team, you certainly wouldn't bet against it being a common occurrence, but it's a hard feat to get to a Champions League final, so you've got to enjoy it when you get there.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest prize there is in football. We've just got to soak it up. When I said I'll be celebrating for 2 weeks, I think you thought I was joking. That is absolutely the plan. We've got to. This
still won't sink in. At the end of it, you'll be like, what? It still won't sink in at the end of it. Oh, what?
At the start of next season. It'll only sink in at the start of next season. Oh, it's a new season now. After the Euros.
Kings of Europe.
It's unbelievable.
We're the kings of Europe.
Like we spoke to Josh and Larry before the game, talking about, they have that moments where it might have been Samuel Eto'o in 2013 when Larry got into it, or it might be something different when players get into it. When you have that story, nights like tonight are where some of them stories are born. Because Jace, you mentioned it. It's your dad's team, and it's the reason I support Chelsea, my dad's team, and I'm sure it's the same for all of us. It comes through the family, and nights like tonight are where you really appreciate what it means to be a football fan and what it means to be a football fan of this football club.
I found my mum and dad. My dad took me in 1976, the first game I came to. I've been a supporter of the club before that and ever since. Played for the club, coached with the club, worked the club, the media side. I'm still fortunate enough to do it. It's been a.
Working in a mega store after
pretty
this,
much. I mean, all my life, in one capacity or another. It's my boys. It's truly unbelievable. It's to see that we've lifted that again, and I think of all the teams that have done it before us, and since, you know, think of the team, what Real Madrid done, even Liverpool. We're kings of Europe, guys. We're kings of Europe.
But that little star, we had a little star on the one last time. There's two now. There's two now. Coley, I'm cautiously asking you this.
Yeah, go on.
But you've been in dressing rooms where you've won big games, where you've won trophies, where you've won promotion to the Premier League, which is massive. What's going on right about now? If you're a player, what's happening in the dressing room?
Well,
Talk us through the scenes.
It's end of the season.
Keep it PG. I'm enjoying this job.
It's end of the season now. They'll have a few. Well, some of them got to go to the Euros now.
Yeah.
You know, so they've done this. This is out of the way. They'll have a little bit of celebration, wouldn't they? They've got to have a little beers with them, with their family. Their family probably over there with them. I don't know what they're doing, if they've got to come back straight away to England. I'm not sure about, because of COVID, you know. But they'll definitely be in that dressing room with beers everywhere, just like giving it like, or champagne probably. It'll be a champagne event.
Well,
you know what I mean? Champagne showers. Champagne. I remember when I think it was when we won the league here, the year I left, there was champagne popping everywhere. But I had a bit. Someone popped a champagne bottle into my eye. Oh. And then I had to go to doctors the next day because I had a little piece of metal in there from the foil. Oh. Yeah, I couldn't celebrate. Yeah, but so that's why anytime anyone's celebrating around me, I'm like,
your eyes shut.
But the lads will definitely enjoy this period, and hopefully. They could get drunk because it's been a long season. Get drunk, have a drink, mate.
Euros.
But Euros is Euros is upon us.
Yeah, a lot of players we feel. But again, this is it as fans, as supporters. Just amazing, isn't it? It's just it really is incredible. We've got so much reaction, so much that's going on around it. So let's see the reaction in Porto, shall we? Let's have a little look at this. Then. Boys,
we did it!
Come on!
Yes.
Hello. Oh my. Welcome to the temporary home of the champions of Europe. How about that, folks? Incredible. And again, as in every round, totally deserved. Shut them down, won the game, Pat. Better side by a mile.
I'm not speechless, but I would be close to it. I couldn't believe how fantastically well we played. And even now, I don't care if I have a bit of an echo going on in my head. I don't care. Nothing annoys me. So right at the moment, I'm looking at a team thinking, we are champions of Europe. And more than champions of Europe, we're a team that's actually going to get even better from that. I could not believe what we did tonight. It was absolutely extraordinary from start to finish. And that is no fluke. And by the way, in some ways, 1-0. Just 1-0. We do that all the time. That's how we do it. And it's not lucky. It's because we are very, very good at doing that. Thomas is brilliant at doing that. And we have the players who will just never stop concentrating. We could go through every player, couldn't we, right? And you start with N'Golo Kanté and then everybody else through the team. Every defender had one unbelievable moment. But
how old were you in 2012?
That's 9 years ago, so I would have been 12.
So how was that?
Unbelievable. To be here, to have experienced it. The fans were unreal. Honestly, I couldn't get over it. I was stressing the whole time. I don't know how you guys kept it professional. Honestly.
We didn't.
I was looking over, head in my hands, and we were so good. We just all they could do was put the ball into the box, and every single time, whether it was Thiago Silva when he was on, or when it was Christensen when he came on, cleared it. It was arguably the perfect performance. Every player, if they're not getting a 9 out of 10, then you've watched a different game.
It was great. We're calming down and sorting ourselves out. We'll go back to you for a little bit.
Ben, Pat, Zach, superb boys, absolutely superb. We will see you very, very soon. Let's carry on, Abby. This is I feel like it's so difficult because it's such an emotional night now.
Yeah.
It's going to be that all of the social media chat, all of the hype, all of the praise, everything that has happened. We spoke about Thomas Tuchel coming in. And again, let's be absolutely brutally honest here. When Thomas Tuchel came in, there's a lot of people, again, Frank Lampard is an icon to this football club. He is a legend.
Always will be.
He's a massive part of this football club. So when Thomas Tuchel comes in, straight away he hits the ground running. Things change. He goes about his business. He goes about his system. He goes about his way. And he's brought us the biggest prize in club football.
He's done it. And it was such an incredible team performance. Every single player there, whether they were off the bench or they started, did their job, didn't they? And did it flawlessly. He's got them so well drilled. It's just amazing. And like you were saying, these nights are memories that are going to kind of live on forever. I actually got quite emotional seeing, did you see all the kids wearing their Chelsea kits with the flags up? And you think, imagine them in years to come looking back and being like, I was there and I watched my team lift the trophy. It's just, yeah, just historic, incredible stuff.
And like we said before the game, Coley, this is the start for this team. It's such a young group. It's such a young team. Kai Havertz, Mason Mount.
I was just about to touch on that. Yeah, like this is the start of their journey, and what a start! Like imagine, like, I'm putting myself in their shoes when I first broke into the first team, and we was never this close to winning the Champions League back then, and to be involved, to start in the Champions League, Reece James, after being. Was it a year and a half or 2 years ago, he was nowhere near the first team, and now being an integral part of the first team, going to win, Mason Mount as well. It's unbelievable. I just feel so happy for them, and now they can grow and get bigger and bigger. I don't know how big they can get after this, because now they're in folklore. They're legends already. So it's gonna be now. The job is to ground them,
to carry it on,
and carry it on.
Carlton, I've got to stop you there because we should be seeing Stamford Bridge very, very soon. Obviously, we're tucked away in the TV studio in Stamford Bridge, but there is something very, very special that is going to be going on in Stamford Bridge very soon. I don't know what it is. I know that none of us know what it is, but something very, very special is planned for right now. So let's see what's going to happen then. So this is Stamford Bridge, just outside, obviously. Let's see what's in plan.
What's happening here then?
So obviously, I mean, you can see the lights already around. There's definitely people still about. It looks beautiful already in the sunshine. It's lit, so this... Here we go then.
Here we go.
Let's have a look at this.
That's it. They've done it.
That is ridiculous. Oh my word. This club is built differently. That
is unreal.
How do they do that, Coley?
Coley knows.
It's the drones, isn't it? It must be the drones. About 1,000 of them up there, isn't there?
We spent all that going, how have they done that? How have they got them to line up? Jay goes, how are they not crashing?
I can't work it out.
I don't know.
She just give up. I think you just. No, I don't care. I don't care anymore.
Can't think too much on these sort of things.
That is special. Again, we talk about moments. That is ridiculous.
I mean, that's how you announce your champions of Europe, right? If it wasn't already a big enough deal.
Can Spurs see it? Can Spurs
I'll tell you what,
see this?
if I saw that and I was down the pub watching the game and I come out and my eyes are blitzed already.
Boys, let's pass over back to Ben, Pat and Zach in Porto. Boys, all yours.
You know what? Fireworks are so 2020, aren't they? Just forget about it. I mean, that was amazing, as it was out here on the field. I wish you all could have been with us. It was amazing, and it felt like so much more than 14,110 or whatever it was. Because it was all blue, different shades, and the Porto seats are blue, it felt so full. Wonderful. Individuals, teams, I'm going to give you a number, and then I'm going to let the boys talk. 18 seasons under Roman, 17 major trophies, under 15 coaches. That's ridiculous, isn't it?
Incredible. And it's very, very hard to take. We sometimes get so upset and then we realise, oh no, we get it now. Well, we get it now after a night like tonight. There were so many brilliant, so many beautiful things about what was happening tonight. The disappointment is, to some degree, the fans that have missed it tonight. I'm watching that group of players there and I'm thinking, don't worry, you're going to get to see it again. It's all right. It's fine. What we are building here at the moment is so far ahead of schedule, but it is absolutely phenomenal. This isn't a one-off. This isn't a fluke. This isn't one you just happen to get because everything went our way. No, you don't get that lucky that often. Joyous to see. I mean, I do want to talk about every single player, but I also want to talk about the fact that the manager had to make some decisions. And every manager does. And our manager made unbelievable decisions. And their manager, he done it again. He kind of panicked. He kind of changed it. But it was easy for him to do that. But you think to yourself, is there any chance that Pep's just going to go and play his best team? They can't. However, Thomas does.
It wasn't supposed to be this soon, was it, Zach, really? This was a thing in progress with quite a lot of young players. For City, this is very much the culmination, winning trophy after trophy, year after year. It is ahead of schedule.
It is. I think we've said it many a times. We're about 2 years ahead. And even then, I think many fans came here and they just wanted to see the team play well. I think if they won it, it was the cherry on top. And it's been fantastic. I mean, watching those boys out there, you'd think they were the older ones. Honestly, from that performance, Kai Havertz, who's had a tough season at times, obviously had COVID, and his last game of the season, he's the guy that scored the goal to win Chelsea Football Club their second Champions League. Every single one of them was fantastic out there, and all of them from N'Golo Kanté, where it's rumoured maybe he wouldn't be too fit, who played fantastically, got man of the match. Mason Mount, who won Chelsea's Player of the Year, and my lord, what he did on that pitch, whether it was defensive, whether it was the ball to get the assist, every single one of them, from Ben Chilwell to Reece James to Thiago Silva to Christensen, I can name them all. They were brilliant tonight, and they all deserved it because Pep did do something a bit different, but we deserved the win. We didn't get lucky. We were really, really good.
Edouard Mendy's conceded 2 goals in his Champions League career. Kai Havertz hadn't scored one until tonight. He just goes and gets the winner. Were you thinking, Pat, when Timo missed a couple early on, it's OK, well, there'll be more? Or were you thinking, oh...
No, we were doing the commentary. I was saying, look, wait a minute, keep on getting there. Keep on saying the phrase. And it is an old phrase. You're the striker. Keep on getting it, because eventually it'll happen. And the thing is, it might not be his goal, but because he runs to where he runs, because he drags other people away, and that's what led to it. And then,
which is why he has to start, and
exactly.
why he always does.
And I've played with many players in my career where they weren't maybe the best technical players, but their willingness to run and stretch and drag and tire oppositions. And if you look at our goal, they're scared to death of his pace, so they go too wide. and it leaves that area for Kai to run into. Now, to be fair, Kai's movement is so intelligent. It's unbelievably intelligent, and he knows when to arrive there. And you're right talking about the COVID and all that sort of stuff, because there's more to come from him. There's millions more to come from him. There are moments when he plays against world-class players, and a lot of moments where he's actually disdainful going round them. And you don't do that against world-class players, but he does. And he's a kid. He is a kid. What he can be like in 2, 3, 4 years' time. By the way, I rarely disagree with you. 2 years ahead. We're 4 years ahead, man. We're well ahead of schedule. And I cannot wait. I actually read it. I know it's very early. Cannot wait to the start of next season. I want to see what this team does. I can't wait.
These last two have been going on for about 3 years without a break, it feels like. But for Kai Havertz, that's a first major medal for his collection. For Reece James, for Timo Werner, for Mason Mount. You've got those great stories, Zach. You've got the older boys in Thiago Silva and Aspie have won it. And Thomas with Thiago Silva last season. You had Thiago absolutely gutted, thinking I can't play after half an hour.
Oh, bless him.
And you saw the other side of it with Kevin De Bruyne as well, how gutted he was, and it's had a happy ending. I mean, there are great stories everywhere you look, and there are sad ones for City with Aguero signing off with that. But, I mean, they hardly had a shot.
Yeah.
They got to the byline twice. Mahrez has nearly sliced one in. Rudiger's made an Olympic block.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
That, to be fair, that needs to be given credit, because that in itself is basically a goal for Chelsea. Yeah. It was that important. Without Rudiger there, because Phil Foden kind of dinks in. It looks like it's going to go around Mendy. But he comes out of nowhere, that explosive aggressiveness. And another one who's been fantastic this season when he's been given his chance, especially in this formation. I just thought it was, at the end, it was so sweet. I don't know if it caught it on TV, but when we'd won it, you saw Tuchel's wife and kids like running on, and it was just so sweet to see. And a few of them, I think they've all got their family down there. But yeah, I mean, it's going to be a good night.
I mean, on him, Pat. He's followed a fan favourite, as Avram had to do, as Rafa Benitez had to do in Di Matteo. He's come in mid-season after Frank. He nearly won the cup as well, but you know, he's gone from 9th to 4th. He's won the cup with the big ears. He's barely conceded a goal. I mean, it's incredible. This knockout run, Real Madrid scored a goal, Porto got one that didn't matter. That's it.
I know. And
Shut down Oppo.
But teams that have actually been... Talking about the Arsenal game, they never touched us. We barred them.
Yeah, it's just
they
one
got
freak incident.
One freak incident. And you look at the goals, and they are rare goals that we've been given away. They are either freakish or brilliant. And there's nothing you can do about that.
West Brom turned into Barcelona for 40 minutes. That's basically it.
It's very bizarre. The rest of it was among the most controlled football I've ever seen for a group of players and a team in my entire life. So if we can keep that going, and of course there's things that you want to add to it, but I love every single story that's in the midst of it. And I feel a wee bit sorry because some players didn't get on tonight, you know, and every change you made, I thought, yep, that's it. That's the right one. That's the right one. And
even Mason, when extra time was still a possibility.
I was trying to think it through, right? I'm trying to think it through and think, well, actually, we're breaking here. And we nearly broke with such pace. But you bring on Kova, and Kova's understanding that he's got with Jorginho is amazing. And that little bit of energy. But he also wanted to provide a threat so that we weren't pinned back. So I kind of got it. You know, in the end, he'll make some decisions and we'll think, why did you do that? The vast majority of the decisions have paid off. And even the ones where I thought, you sure about that? They have paid off. And he's got to the situation now where if I think something's wrong when he makes it, I will question myself much quicker than I'll question the manager. Much quicker.
It's got to give him some more clout, Zach, hasn't it? You know, getting top 4. OK, cup final didn't go right, but that's bigger. You think what there is to come from young players who are already good and some additions this summer, this is, you hope, the start of something...
The start of something big, the start of something huge. I mean, next year, with a full pre-season under their belt, you know, Tuchel's been able to, maybe he wants to change something, 4 at the back, whatever it is. A whole season, you know, it could be a very interesting Premier League campaign. We're going to have to try and defend this, the big ears now next year, which is also going to be very fun. And everyone knows, you know, I think at the beginning when Tuchel first took over, people kind of looked at Chelsea and thought, well, they're not too sure. Obviously, they've been going through a bad patch, and Tuchel's made Chelsea a club that you do not want to face. Not one team has wanted to play against us because we make the games hard for them. We don't give them space. All they can do is cross the ball in. City have had a fantastic year. They've won the Premier League, and tonight we made them look like we were the big boys.
Yeah. Again, 3 out of 3 for Team Tuchel against Project Pep, so we'll take that. And the best 2 teams, as I heard Jason mentioning earlier, since Thomas took over, Chelsea second, 38 points, Man City top, 48 points. So from a full start with 38 games to play come August, that will be interesting, but maybe we should just enjoy tonight. Back to you.
Boys, it sounds like you have been enjoying tonight. You deserve it as well, because Pat and Ben, I can hear both of your voices going, and absolutely understandably, because you have been working flat out. Thank you so much, Zach, as well. Absolutely top draw, boys. Absolutely top draw, boys. Absolutely top draw. Go and enjoy yourself. Go and have a nice drink. 'Cause I think you're done now. I think that's well. Don't take my word for it. I've got no authority. Don't take my word for it, boys. So check that first. Nice. Thank you so much. We can see the pictures now. It doesn't look real, does it? It still doesn't look... Let's have a little chat about the man lifting a trophy, Jay. Cesar Azpilicueta, Mr. Chelsea, captain Chelsea on and off the pitch. We've spoken about it so much. The last year as well, it feels like the captains had to do a lot more. Had to do a lot more in terms of on and off the pitch, captain in the side, taking on that responsibility. Last year, during the pandemic, he was Zoom calling fans and people in the community as well, doing his bit off the pitch and checking in with players. And now he's lifting the one with big ears.
He joined in 2012, the year after, the same year we won the Champions League, but the year after, the season after we joined, the same year of Hazard, of course, and he won the Europa League that following season. He's won everything, and he's up there with the biggest legends of this football club, right up there, to captain Chelsea Football Club, to play in a Champions League final. Azpilicueta,
with babies,
he joins the top table. You know, he's right up there with John Terry and Branner and Frank Lampard, and and he's won everything for the club. Gary Cahill won everything for the club. But then you move down, you got Reece, Chile, and my man here, Mason Mount. I mean, just the future is bright. I mean, I still can't believe it. Honestly, words still kind of fail me that we are kings of Europe again.
This man as well, Rudiger.
All of them.
All of them. What a set of players.
Carlton, for Reece and Mason and Ben and their first major trophy is the Champions League.
Chile, he's on cloud 9 right now, isn't it? This is what he's come here for, and this is what he's got, and this is where he is right now. So now he can kick on. As I said, the Euros is around the corner as well. This bodes well for the England team. But what I'm gonna say as well is, yeah, you're right, Azpilicueta, man. He's just been an integral part. When he's in the team, you know it's going to be solid. And yeah, everyone has their rough patches, and maybe times when you're not playing or first choice. But for him to be an integral part of a team for so long, and to gather in the troops and make sure that these boys, because they're all younger than him, so he has to guide them. He's got to make sure. And Thiago Silva's been massive. Like, let's not underestimate the impact that he has. I remember there was a game when he was actually shouting from the stands and ordering people, all the players, get up, trying to order the back line like he was the manager. That just shows you the character of the older lot trying to coach the younger boys to success. It's unbelievable.
I mean, Abby as well. The mental strength of these players. 2 weeks ago, we were sat in, obviously not this very studio, but on Zoom doing a similar show, gutted because we'd lost the FA Cup final. Yeah. Straight away to jump back on it, players like Mason Mount and Reece James, 2 weeks ago would have been, obviously their second FA Cup final, but in terms of that level of pressure, to put it to bed, to put in such a mature performance, like Zach said, our importer, such a mature performance tonight, that stands them in such a strong position going forward for Chelsea, doesn't it? Yeah,
this is the biggest game of their careers, isn't it? And they put in such a convincing performance. Mason there.
Didier vibes, isn't it? Very much Didier vibes.
You love to see. It's amazing. I just think this team is such an incredible mix, though, isn't it? Because you've got these leaders and these Chelsea legends, and then you've got the youth coming through. So the future of Chelsea is also looking so bright. It's just the most exciting time to be a fan,
with fans in the stadium as well.
Yeah,
that is the special part of this whole scenario. The fans are there to celebrate to.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like when I think who was it that won the league last year? There was no fans in the stadium, and it was just. It doesn't feel right.
Unbelievable. Just look at Aspie. I look back over the years, right, even watching it as a young boy growing up, you think of the legends, you know, AC Milan that lifted it, Real Madrid back in the day, Liverpool, of course, I think Emlyn Hughes, you know, and now we've got Aspilicueta lifting that trophy like that. It's just unbelievable.
Giroud's going to win a header at the back there as well, isn't he?
I know.
He's up for it.
I was
thinking about a goal.
I was hoping he was going to come on. He's fully in it there. Really immersed.
I mean, there's so many players we can go through. Thiago Silva's the big one as well for me because he's, like we said, he came here to win it pretty much. He came here to win that, you know.
Won everything but that.
Him and Thomas Tuchel last year.
Come up short last season. That would have hurt. Was released by, you know, PSG, and you look, Cavani was released as well. Made it to the Europa League final. Wasn't such a good story, of course, for him. But you think about what those three have done. In particular, the manager here, Tuchel and Silva, to go on. And I hope Thiago Silva's wife now will be very, very happy because she's very vocal on social media. And I know I'm looking forward to go and see exactly what her reaction is to winning the Champions League.
I mean, that's it as well, though, Abby, isn't it? Because we're going to see this over the next 24, 40 hours. We're going to see the videos from the players on the Instagram. We're going to be seeing their pictures on Twitter. We're going to see them. Well, I mean, maybe we won't see them. Hopefully, we don't see how they're celebrating because they've earned it. That should be a phones down, let them earn it. But these next 48 hours for these players, it's got to sink in. And us fans have got a little while to think about it. But some of these players, like the boys have mentioned, they're going off to the Euros. They've got a couple of days to enjoy it, and then they're off again.
Yeah. Wow. What a bonkers time. They must just be like, they can't believe that it's real. But they need to celebrate it and soak it up because, what a time to be alive.
You've got Reece James and Matt Mason going to the camp, and they're just going to lap. They need a lap of honour in the hotel when they get there because the boys are going. I reckon as soon as they go in, the England boys are just going to have to give them a ripple. They have to.
Yeah.
You have to give them a
They're
ripple.
going to be so pumped, aren't they, to go into another big competition?
Yeah.
Like, they're going to just be like, bring it on after this.
Well, let's have a little chat about N'Golo Kanté then, because we spoke about him before the game. I know that you spoke him up as well, Carlton, but for the most unassuming, iconic monster in the middle of the pitch, he is everywhere. He is a phenomenon. The man that has won the Premier League, the World Cup, and the Champions League now as well. He is. I cannot put into words because I think if I try and give him one word that summarises what he is, I'm doing him a disservice. I think he's that good. There isn't a word invented for how good N'Golo Kanté is yet. But another game, Coley, where every 5 or 6 minutes you're going, Kanté, Kanté, Kanté.
That's what you want in your team. This is what you want. You want these sort of characters in your team. And they're few and far between. There's not a lot of them in the world. And just to give you that character, that belief, because when you see him when he's going to win a challenge and he's predicting the opposition's play, seeing that in front of you, you're only going to take heart from that and go further and try and put that into your game as well. He's just such a great example and a great human being as well. On top of that, but may I add, he's a lovely person, a lovely guy, and he just look at him. That smile there, it just says a million words.
Almost an injustice if he didn't get his hands on it, wouldn't it? It feels that way. He has to win with the Champions League. As simple as that, he has.
Yeah.
It's a strange one though, isn't it? Because we talk about N'Golo Kanté. Everyone knows how incredible he is. Yet he's never mentioned when it comes to Ballon d'Ors or world recognition. And
he should be now.
But this is what I mean, though. You talk about a player that's won the World Cup, that's now won the Champions League, that is so imperative.
If France go on to win the Euros,
do,
his name will be right up there.
He's got to be in the conversation, hasn't he?
Yeah, his name will be right at the very top. If France go on, and they're my favourites to win it. And there's no reason why they can't.
I'm not surprised he needs a carry, to be fair, from Kerr soon, because he probably didn't stop running until the trophy was lifted. Because
he's little baby, isn't he?
What's going on there?
What's going on there? Billy Gilmour as well over here. Is that Tino Anjorin? Is that Tino Anjorin as well? Tino Anjorin obviously in the squad as well. We'll get a Champions League winners medal for a man that's been playing PL2 games this year for Chelsea, and play games at Cobham for the under-18s in the last 18 months.
Great experience for him today. Great experience.
Amazing. Billy Gilmour's another one, Abby, as well, isn't he? Every time he plays, we're impressed with him. But this is the start. In 10, 15 years' time, players will be talking about experiences, like Carlton said, the experience, how important it is. Talking about experiences tonight, about being involved in the camp. I was involved in the Champions League. I wanted to play a part of it. I wanted to be integral in years to come. Billy Gilmour, Reece James, Mason Mount,
Yeah.
Christian Pulisic, Kai
Absolutely
Havertz.
amazing.
You've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, to be involved in a winning campaign for the Champions League at the young ages they all are. Like, what an amazing experience, what a confidence boost. And they're going to be hungry for plenty more trophies. And you love that. It's gonna drive them on even more, isn't it?
Jace, a little word on Andreas Christensen as well. We touched on it briefly, but man, you know, it wasn't made a huge deal of. I know Matt and I'm sure Ben will have mentioned it in their commentary as well about he's not played since he's been injured. Hasn't really got a look in because Reece has gone into the three at the back and Aspie's played in there as well.
Yep.
Big shoes to fill in Thiago Silva, the experience and the know-how of being in there in such an important game, to come in and be as superb as he was from minute one when he come on.
I was at White Hart Lane when we beat Spurs, and that's when a similar thing happened, actually. Thiago had to come off with a hamstring, I think it was. He was out for a while. It was seamless. Andreas has got in, and you didn't notice that he had come in and the experience of Thiago was missing. And throughout that period, it was almost like it was him playing there, Silva. And of course, he picked up the injury with the goal that we conceded away at City. But the highest compliment I can pay him is that we didn't miss Thiago. I never felt, oh my God, Thiago. When it happened, of course, we all felt, God, that's a big blow. But a couple of minutes in, Andreas stepped in. There was a block, brilliant block, about 3 or 4 minutes to go, where he's gone down. He's made sure he's kept his legs shut. Yeah. Made sure there's very little gaps. He's gone to ground, but you know, made sure he's got both legs tight together and blocked the shot. But big block. But he was excellent.
He came in and he looked ready.
Yeah.
He looked ready. He looked up for it. He didn't come in and his first touch. One thing I always notice is when a player comes in, is their first touch and how they look on the ball, how comfortable they look. He came in, just popped it off straight away, made another angle, and I was really impressed with him. So that what a person to have coming off from the bench to come and cover you basically with one of your best. A big game, and one of your best players has gone off, but you got a player like that to come in. It's unbelievable.
There was murmurs prior to kick-off. I know we were all feeling a little bit nervous, deciding if he'd make it, but here is Edouard Mendy lifting the cup. And how much did he deserve it, Abby? Because he has been phenomenal. He's another one. It feels like he's been here for years. He's been here 9 months.
Yeah, he's really settled into the side, isn't he? And an incredible keeper. Some of the saves he's made, I still don't know how he's made them. He's just so incredible, isn't he? He's so nimble, reads the game really well. And look at him. He probably can't believe it, but he deserves it. The whole team do, because every single player there on screen did their part.
Jace, the story of Edouard Mendy is worth reiterating. I know it had been well trodden over the last couple of days, but the fact that he was close to giving up football, he was signing on at the job centre because he couldn't find a club, and then kind of made his way through the French sort of second and third and fourth divisions, gets the nod eventually. I mean, he only signed for Rennes 18 months ago. Then Petr Cech was doing his homework on him, had a little eye on him, decided to tempt him to come over to Stamford Bridge, and quite literally the rest is history now.
You've not done that story justice, but I understand why you've kind of condensed it because of the little time that we have. But if you don't know the back story to Edouard Mendy's reason he is holding that, go and find out, Google it, because you're absolutely right. For considering giving up football, I think he was working in a menswear shop. He was offered a chance to be the fourth choice goalkeeper, and he said, yes, I'll take it. And then eventually, hard work, determination, massive self-belief, and maybe the opportunity that he took eventually that came his way, he took. There's your end result. Never give up, kids. Look at that. Never give up.
Example.
And we're talking, you know, we're talking years here, not decades of that happened. 2 or 3 years from being unemployed to that.
It's incredible, isn't it? And Carlton, stories like that, they do add a little bit of extra magic and a little bit special, doesn't it? Because it's stuff like that comes full circle. This is the biggest prize to win, and when you've been from quite literally the bottom of the pile, when he's decided, you know, like Jason said, the story is incredible. If you haven't read up on it, do go and check it out, because it is staggering. But to go from there to where he is now, that's what football's about. Those are the stories that you can't make up, but football gives you those narratives.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is why football is just a beautiful game. Anyone can play it. You can pick up a football down the shop and go and start playing, knocking about with your mates, and that will start your journey basically, and you could end up like these guys, you know. So, look, I've just got so much admiration for how much hard work they've put in to get to this point, and they've turned the season around to get to here is out. It's just phenomenal. You can't, you still can't believe it, can you, Jason?
Ridiculous. Just ridiculous.
I mean, Christian Pulisic as well, Abby. Let's chat about him because first American to play in a Champions League final, first American to score, to win in the Champions League as well. It's such an amazing story. We know we've got so many fans that are big Christian Pulisic fans, but he is such a big player for this football club. Oh yeah, absolutely incredible, and his contribution all season's been fabulous. I think he's one of those players that can really add a little bit of magic to games. You know, he's so skillful, he's fast, he has got goals to his game. I celebrated like he'd scored today. I know he didn't, but, you know, and he's such an amazing player to bring off the bench a lot of the time. He can really impact games, can't he? So, yeah, just a fantastic player. I'm sure all of America are so proud of him, as are we as Chelsea fans. Well, I'll tell you what, let's get some more reaction. I said they were finished. They're absolutely not finished. Sorry, boys. I'll give you an early night, but there is no way this is finishing early doors. So, Ben, Pat and Zach over in Porto, you've got more fallout from Chelsea being champions of Europe for us. Still doesn't feel real.
I was just thinking about City, funnily enough, and maybe they haven't suffered enough yet. And I mean that seriously. We had Moscow and we had those ridiculous semi-finals and, you know, this is their first final and they've only been, I think, in, 2 semi-finals before that. Maybe this is just part of the process. Pep obviously has enjoyed it before. Pat wants to talk about Thomas Tuchel.
I don't know if it came across in the pictures that were sent through, but there was a moment about 5-10 minutes to go and we were wilting. We were wilting a little bit. You could see the tiredness, and even Kai Havertz was holding his calf and things like that. And Thomas Tuchel turned around to the Chelsea fans and he bellowed at them to get behind. And you don't need to do that with Chelsea fans, you just need to ask, right? And the noise from the Chelsea fans was absolutely incredible. And the effect it had on everyone around the ground. Every player just lifted. They got that bit more energy. The fans were just like, oh, this is working, and they lifted again. And the City players looked and thought, oh, we don't need that. And the City fans had no reaction at all. So, yes, it was everybody on the pitch that was doing it. Thomas Tuchel knew the moment to turn around and get those fans. And he doesn't... How does he know this? How has he figured this out? He's only seen them for tiny little bits. What is it going to be like when he gets the full complement of fans behind him? And we can use that to our benefit to make it even better. It was a great moment, and you spotted something else. You spotted he wasn't the only guy doing it.
Yeah, indeed. Antonio Rudiger, at the same kind of time when the players were tiring, again turning round to the Chelsea fans in the stands and giving it his all of them today. I think, and the Chelsea fans were incredible from the first minute. You wouldn't have known that there was only 6,000 or odd from the tickets. It was incredible. They've been doing it all day. They were doing it at the fan zone when we were there earlier, singing, and any player that came off, they start chanting that song. They were incredible today. Every single one of them who's been here deserves a pat on the back because not only did the players win the trophy, but you helped them too.
It was definitely louder from Chelsea's end, absolutely no question. And it lifted again just after, you probably all saw Jorginho under no pressure. The most knackered clearance on the spin. He just sort of kicked up in the air, he could barely get his leg up. And they went again then, and you're thinking, God, if even he's being rushed for time, Pat. And he was, even though City weren't exactly pouring it, they dropped deeper, the Blues.
And we were wrecked, and it was really difficult moments, but do you know those iconic moments back in Munich where you kind of didn't know where to look because just the whistle goes and the players don't know where to run? They're going that way and that way and everywhere. Tony Rudiger made a run. You've never seen a run like this. He must have done 100 metres all the way from his end to the fans at the far end. Yeah, he did. It was some sprint. Yeah, where did he get the energy to do that? And the cameras were different places because there was just too much going on. Honestly, I want to watch this game again.
You've got to watch it back a lot of times because there were pockets, weren't there? Some players had done that. Rudiger had gone on one of his bonkers sprints down the other end, and there was a lot going on.
Fantastic.
And right in the middle of that, there was quite a nice smile from Guardiola to Tuchel. He seemed to take it pretty well, but this is going to be one of those ones I think people might watch back a fair bit.
Well, I would absolutely watch it back, and I really want one of those spider cams or something up above it so I can just look down and see all the different reactions from every single player, because every single reaction was brilliant and different, and they all wanted to celebrate with a different guy for every 2 seconds, and they all wanted to go with the fans over there, and then they all wanted to be there, and they didn't know where to go. So if any fans out there, you were jumping about in your, on your sofa or throwing yourself in over tables and things like that. I remember I did a competition years ago after the Munich win. I said, what did you do after we actually won it? The moment Didier scored then, 3 people said they broke their legs, right? There was that much excitement.
And that was just Cundy's doing.
Tackles from Kanté. And there'll be memories like that tonight from every single Chelsea fan.
Apparently it was getting emotional in the studio there. Jason, my mum has texted me to said that you were crying, so that is rather lovely. I'm going to talk about the team just for a minute, if I may. Yeah. I'm going to start there with an individual. N'Golo Kanté wasn't really fit for this game. Imagine what the bloke can do when he's 100%. But we were just saying off air that in all these big games, and pretty much the whole time that Tuchel's been in charge, at the end of every match, you could pick not 1 or 2, but you could pick 7 or 8 that have had stunning matches. And it's again tonight. We could talk here for 10 minutes about what Ben Chilwell did tonight, or Mason Mount, or Kai Havertz, or N'Golo Kanté, or Andreas Christensen having come on for Thiago Silva, or Azpilicueta, or Tony Rudiger.
The job Reece James did on Sterling.
Reece James on Sterling, after an early scare as well, when Sterling gave him the little spin, and you thought, oh, but no, he didn't do it again.
Head was there. Head was there. And that's the thing, that the belief that they've all got, and the head's in the right space. And we keep on saying this word, and up there, Jason said, every ex-player's always said it, concentration when you're tired. It's hard, because you're physically and you're mentally tired. Unbelievable levels of concentration there. And I heard you talk in the studio, just one last thing, talk in the studio about those defensive moments. That Andreas Christensen one, I think it was Jace, you were talking about it, gets in there and saves it, was a fantastic moment. The Azpilicueta one, when it was bouncing along and he had to put it over his own crossbar.
He's done well there.
It's wow.
It took a bobble as well.
Yeah,
it took a bobble.
How brave do you need to make, Jason, explain to people as a defender, how brave you need to be to get that. And don't say it was a fluke, please.
Well, yeah. Jason, why don't you explain that right now?
Well, Jace, the Azpilicueta clearance that Pat's saying there about the one that comes skirting across and he clears that.
That is pure instinct of an experienced defender that knows to be in the right place at the right time, and his legs. Chilwell done something similar a little bit earlier than that, if you remember, who come round on that right side. But I mean, they was honestly, we were just a unit. They mentioned all the names. I've not got to mention the other names. Reece was fabulous. My man of the match was Reece.
Yeah.
I get why Chile was mentioned. I think Carl, you've mentioned N'Golo, which again I'm not going to argue. No argument out of me. Andreas when he came on, Aspie, and the list goes on, to be honest. But
Kovacic's done well when he came on as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm so proud of them. It's just they're just brilliant. We just. The best team won. We so deserved it. Every one of them. So proud of them.
And Carlton, Ben was talking there about N'Golo not being fully fit. He wasn't fully fit for the final in Baku either. I don't think he was fully fit for the Super Cup. Didn't Frank say?
You don't need to be fully fit.
It's scary though.
His presence on the pitch is just phenomenal. Like he's like 3 players in one. I was saying before. You could actually play a 4-1-5 with him in the team. Do you know what I mean? He covers every blade of grass in that midfield, and he's sensational to watch.
It's incredible, isn't it? I mean, it does it like they're all saying, Abby. Just it's a special night, and there's a number of players you could go through. You could go through 1 to 11. You go from 1 to 25. In fairness, that people have played their part over the course of the season, and this is what it comes down to the final picture from this season. This season. Of all seasons.
A roller coaster of a season. The fact that we even got to a Champions League final and then we put in that incredible performance, and we are the champions of Europe. Can you believe it? Also, just to pick up on Kanté again, why is he not in the Ballon d'Or conversation? He should be. He's absolutely fantastic.
He definitely will be.
Incredible.
He's got to be.
Incredible, isn't it, boys? Thank you so much in Porto. We're going to let you go and get a nice cold drink, I think, because I mean it's warm in here, but can you imagine what it's like in Porto at the moment? In a studio in Porto, I bet it's absolutely roasting. Carlton, this is though, when you look at this picture here, these are the iconic pictures that will be plastered around the football club for years and years and years now. When you look through these, you look at the individuals that will go on to do more. You know, this picture of a young Reece James, of a young Mason Mount, of a young Callum Hudson-Odoi, Tammy Abraham, Ben Chilwell. These are players that are going to go and have such an impact for this football club over the next decade. We spoke about it before the game, and I think we kind of loosely said, you know, this is the start of something. But when you've won a Champions League, what kind of belief does that give you going into the first game of next season? Never mind the first Champions League game of next season.
Yeah, of course, you've got to be believing you could do anything right now. You've just created a monster, basically. And you got to understand, like, these kids, I'm calling them kids because that's what they are. They're not even experienced life yet, but what they're experiencing now is something that a pro that's played like 300, 400 games in the Premier League. That's what we want. We want to be doing that, and they're getting it so prematurely. Do you know what I mean? I wish I was one of them right now, gaining that experience. Now, when you look at Reece, he's already experienced now. He's an experienced pro now. Like Mason is an experienced pro, and this is what we fight to get to as pro footballers. And look at these pictures. That's going to live with you forever. You've just lifted up the Champions League. How old is he? 22.
22.
Let's
have a little chat about this,
crazy.
man, Jason, because we've spoken about.
Remarkable.
We've spoken about Mason Mount. I would say we've spoken about Mason Mount more than any player this season because of how good he's been, how important he's been, how important he is, and how mature he is. Tonight, Carlton, you pointed out to us when we were watching it because Mason Mount, I suppose, wasn't the player on the ball as much that we is expecting to see. But what he was doing a different job for the team, wasn't he? Which you explained to us about keeping Kyle Walker quiet and doing the defensive job. That is a mature performance from a young man that knows how important he is, that knows that not only sky is the limit, but I tell you what, he's already flying. He's already up there, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, there are two parts to football, one with the ball and one without the ball. When you haven't got the ball, you've got to work harder to get the ball back. He does both in abundance, and today the game was different for him. And I think we expected City to have a bit more of the ball, and I think we expected us to have to do that hard graft, the dirty side of the game, if you like. Where you get your hands dirty without the ball, because it's harder. When you've got the ball, players make angles for you, so you're constantly touch, pass, especially the way City play. Without the ball, as Chelsea were today, you've got to try and cover all those angles. And it's hard. Those legs are the key move. And sometimes without reward. Sometimes you'll go and close the ball down, and the ball gets played over there, and you've got to go. Today, that was his side of the game today, the dirty side of the game. But when he got the ball, the pass for the goal, the telling pass, and again, I'll say, anyone that's not seen it, have a watch of it again. He understands and realises the urgency. He's got to get that ball in, and he punches it in. Because he realises, if I don't get this ball in now, he's going to be offside. It's a brilliant pass. The weight, the accuracy, the delivery. It doesn't bounce along the ground, doesn't chip it in. He zips it along the surface. It's a brilliant pass, and Kai Havertz does the rest. So we love Mace. Deservedly player of the season.
Absolutely right. Well, I'll tell you what, let's have a little look back at the reactions from within the studio from the first half. This was when we didn't know what was going on. The hunger was kicking at that point.
Well done, son. Brilliant race. Rudiger, unbelievable. How's that? Honestly, just.
This is the goal. Look, the calmest celebration I've seen there, Coley, as well.
I had to be calm because VAR. Because I thought he was offside. I actually did.
This was it, though. Yeah. Is he off? Is he on? No, he's run from deep. He's good. Yes. He's good. Yes. Incredible, Jay. I mean, we've watched games together in the past. I know that Ben mentioned it as well about you toppling him at Wembley and things like that. That's the emotion that, as a fan, we're very lucky to be doing this. We are fans first and foremost. We love this football club. Love what it stands for, and every goal is celebrated with emotion. I mean, again, Ben referenced it. You were in tears at full time. It's incredible to see because we all know, and there'll be people resonating with that at home because it's how much it means.
It's just an unbelievable day. Unbelievable day. I was in the same studio when we won it in 12. I mean, I still can't quite believe what I'm seeing. It won't sink in yet for I don't know how long. It took me a while for 12 to sink in, but this is truly remarkable. We've done it again, and look at them. Look at them. Look at them.
It makes sense. It makes sense, though, doesn't it? It makes sense now.
Just unbelievable. It's truly remarkable stuff.
Can we have a word about Mateo Kovacic as well, Carlton? Because he's been in 3. I think he missed the squad for Real Madrid twice, and he missed the squad once, and then he was in the squad twice, but never got on in a Champions League final. got on tonight, but played a huge role in the run in general, and played a massive part under Frank and Thomas Tuchel when he first came in. Again, bearing in mind, this is a man, Cover and Jorginho, and N'Golo Kanté couldn't get in the side when Thomas Tuchel first came in. Such an important figure, and again, to finally get his hand on a medal that he'll have felt a part of will be important.
Well, this is what football's about. I've said it before, like, the whole squad has a role to play. And if they might not play an integral part throughout the whole season, but the bits and bobs that he does and creates the environment for success like this, he's an integral part of that. And Thomas Tuchel noticed that today, that they needed a Kovacic to come on. And he had the Kovacic to come on, and he's just basking in the glory now, and he's loving it. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about.
He's player of the season last season. You know, I think he missed 10 games. Did he miss 10 games with injury fairly recently?
He did. Yeah, no, that's right, he did. Yeah.
Come back in the second half of a game a couple of weeks ago. And again, every game when he was out, it was, he might make it, he might not. He might make it, he might not. When he didn't make the semi-finals of the Champions League, you thought, oof.
Yeah, it was pretty gutting.
But to have him to bring on tonight, in such an important time when the game was going, just a player of his experience, his quality and his ability, he's so important, isn't he?
And he'll be so happy that he actually got to play in the final. And he's looking really sharp as well, considering he's just coming back from injury. His first touch was that audacious flick, wasn't it? You know, like, hang on a minute.
Jason couldn't believe it. It was like, he's come on, he's done a flick up in the final third. What's going on?
I mean, yes. I mean, that's his first touch, wasn't it?
It was. Absolutely phenomenal.
When you see that, then you know that it's your day, because you know they've got a vibe about them, and they're feeling like they can go on to win this game. They feel they're in control of the game. So when you see one of your teammates comfortably doing that, and he's not brought on to do that, by the way, but that's how confident they were to be doing that. Credit to Tuchel getting them in that frame of mind.
Jace, the composure as well shown by the players and the team. Chelsea never looked flustered in this. Ben spoke about Jorginho looking a bit tired when he was clearing the ball, but never looked flustered, always looked calm, composed. That comes from the manager, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, sets the tone, but I don't remember ever feeling that we would concede. There's always the fear that we could concede, but I don't remember feeling we will concede. There's those hairy moments, of course there are. But really, genuinely, throughout the 90 minutes, I don't remember Edouard Mendy having too much.
You'd have been unlucky to concede.
Absolutely.
It would have been unlucky to. It wouldn't have been like, it was us. We've been
and
playing
they're capable,
poorly.
those City, aren't they, of creating those moments and taking advantage of it. But were there many? I don't remember too many at all, in all honesty.
And again, you know, you talk about the form coming into it. Man City dispatched Everton 5-0 last week in the Premier League. They'd already won it at a canter, really. You know, they're coming into it, perhaps looking at a little bit of revenge, because like we said, Tuchel's got the better of him twice in the games running up to this. Chelsea lost 3 and 4, you know, coming into this as well. Only just made it into the top 4, Abby. So it had that, if it's going to be a night, it's going to be a night, and that's exactly what it was tonight.
Yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it? Because everyone was saying City are the favourites coming into it, but it was who brought it on the night, and we kept them quiet, as Jace was just saying, all game. Hardly had any chances, and every member of our squad played their part, and just an incredible team performance. I feel like I want to watch this game back tomorrow and actually take it all in, because everyone... Do you know what I mean? Everyone was just fantastic. I think I was so... just like full of nervous energy towards the end. That added time felt like about a decade, didn't it?
7
so
minutes.
I feel like I maybe kind of didn't take in every moment, but I thought everyone today was just fantastic.
Carlton, again, you think about it, don't you? You think about games like tonight and moments and taking that opportunity, because, you know, let's not make any sort of assumptions about it. This team is good enough to go on and appear in more Champions League finals, but there's no God-given right. There are great teams that have never got to this level, never got to this stage. So you have this opportunity. Every single player in there has taken it. Thiago Silva, like we speak about opposite ends of it. Tino Andrian's got a Champions League medal around his neck tonight. Thiago Silva's got 80 caps for Brazil, won pretty much everything there is, lost in a Champions League final next year. It comes to Chelsea, and a lot of people think he's going to play a bit part. Integral, and now he's got a winner's medal around his neck.
He's over the moon, isn't he? He's made the right decision. Everyone, as I said, everyone to get to this point has
phenomenal. Yeah, there he is.
Everyone to get to this point has made a sacrifice or taken a gamble. Tuchel's come in. The owners have taken a gamble to bring Tuchel in at a certain stage. So everyone has played their role and their part, and it's got to that stage where everybody now knows why they made that decision at a certain point this season, and this is what's happened. So it's brilliant.
But again, Jay, you talk about the squad collective as it is. Tammy Abraham played a huge part. Again, he's still one of our top goal scorers and hasn't had a huge amount of involvement since sort of late end of February. Kurt Zuma as well at one point looked nailed on as our first starter in a back four into a back three. We talk about Mateo Kovacic, Mason Mount, Risha. Everybody in that picture has played a part. Hakim Ziyech didn't get on tonight. Callum Hudson-Odoi didn't get on tonight. These are players that have made. Marcus Alonso didn't get on tonight. These are players that have made such a massive impact, not just for Chelsea this season, but potentially onwards they're going to play a big part for Chelsea. And again, to be involved with this tonight, to be a part of the collective and everyone that's muddled in together and got this.
It's a squad game. To win the Champions League, it takes more than 11 players just on one evening, as it turned out, for 90 minutes, sometimes longer. But it's over the course of months. And also, not only that, but getting there. There's some players here, and players that have left the club that had an integral part in us getting into the Champions League last season. If you remember, it's the last game against Wolves we had to win. And then, of course, what Frank and Jody done. So it's a journey that you map out over the course of that season, all ending up on one day on a Saturday at the end of May. You hope you're at that final, and you get that photograph. And there's more to it than that. And everyone at the football club. Everyone that's been part of this that you're not seeing there that's helped create this incredible moment, only the second time in our history.
Talk about people being part of it. These are part of every single part of it.
Where are my boys? My boys are out there somewhere.
But this is what it's about, isn't it? We speak about how difficult it's been this season because fans haven't been able to be in the ground, and this means as much to fans that haven't been able to enjoy it on the
I wouldn't be happy if that was my house there, though. I'm trying to get to sleep.
You ain't right. Don't buy a house outside Stamford Bridge then.
Nobody's sleeping for a while.
They're fuming. They're absolutely
fuming. I've got work tomorrow. It's bank holiday. It's bank holiday.
These are the scenes that you look at, that you live for as a football fan. There'll be people in there that will be getting their first taste of Chelsea's silverware potential. I mean, these lads up here don't look too old. Again, this is the first time that they've seen. This is
ways and means, isn't there?
This is the start, isn't it? This is just incredible.
That's such a great image, isn't it?
Absolutely incredible. Here we go, and look at this as well. I mean, this is from inside the dressing room. This is what we want to see. Champions of Europe. Boys, enjoy it. Billy Gilmore there. What's Billy after? He's after something. Christian Pulisic. Got his USA hoodie on as well. Love that. Tammy showing the moves. Olivier Giroud, World Cup winner. Champions League winner.
Jorginho.
Emerson as well. Emerson played a huge part. Obviously got a goal in the knockout phase for us as well, didn't he? Really important one late on.
With his first touch of the game, wasn't it?
First touch.
That was unreal.
Ben Chilwell. Can you imagine Ben Chilwell? You said it earlier, Carlton, but he's only been at Chelsea 6-7 months.
Yeah.
He's playing in a Champions League final.
It's just unreal. I'm so jealous. I wish I was in that changing room right now. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll be busting the moves like they're doing at the moment. But
is that Lee Parker at the back there as well? I think in the suit.
They're all in it. They're all in it.
Where's Lee's moves? He'll be dancing in a minute with it.
Absolutely.
Oh yes. There's my old mucker Billy.
Enjoy these moments because you don't know when the next one's going to come around. You really don't. And there's lads in there who hopefully will fill their pockets throughout the rest of their careers with medals, and hopefully at this club. But enjoy the moment. These don't happen often.
Trust me.
Enjoy it.
When it's over, it's over.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Willy Caballero again. We always say about that, don't we, in terms of the goalkeepers. There's very much a goalkeeper union. There's very much 3 goalkeepers in it, and we've seen all 3 of them play their part this season and be involved. And every day on the training ground, they're very much in togetherness. So he'll have been hugely a part of it, Jorginho. Jorginho. Billy Gilmore.
Hey.
The boys can move though, couldn't they?
Yeah.
The boys can move.
Come on.
What a week for Billy Gilmore.
I need to see Tuchel in there.
What a week for Billy Gilmore, by the way. But bearing in mind that he got included to the Scotland squad, didn't he, in the Euros this week?
Euros call up, and then he's in a Champions League winning squad. Amazing.
Was that Filippo I just saw there? Yeah.
Mate's getting a bit going.
Billy's involved. He's got to be involved, Billy. He's seen some trophies in. Billy the masseuse.
Yeah.
He's.
Oh, that's what I done, and I got. I had to go to hospital the next day. Oh, he just killed him. I told you. I already know. Killed him.
Oh, look. Defensive duo.
Must have said thank you. Guides him. You know what I mean? Guides him.
Absolutely incredible. Incredible. Ah. As an album cover for Mace. It's a Ben Chilwell loving it. Amazing, amazing.
Enjoy it.
There he is, goal scorer in a Champions League final, Kai Havertz.
Youth team.
Oh, look at that, Cobham gang.
Amazing.
Chelsea youth.
Yeah, straight out of Cobham.
Amazing, isn't it?
Let's hear from our man in and amongst it then, shall we? Down in Porto, Lee Parker.
Incredible performance at the end of an amazing season.
Yeah, an amazing season. We deserve it because we worked so hard. We always believed in ourselves and we never gave up, you know. And this group is amazing because everyone cheer for each other. You know, the spirit of this group is just incredible. They deserve it. Everyone deserves it. From the staff, from the medical staff, from the kitmen, from who work in the offices, for you, for everyone. Because everyone in the club just help each other and all the support we have from the fans as well. So this amazing club deserves it.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Muito obrigado. Grazie mille.
Obrigado.
Grazie mille. Obrigado. Vamos que vamos. Andiamo.
More celebrations here. Look at this then. There he is. There he is.
Trainer.
What's that? Look at his shoe up.
Look at his shoe up.
Look if I can do a shoeing.
Drink out of his shoe.
Drink out of his shoe.
Oh, that's cheesy.
Oh, no.
That's cheesy. No, I'm not doing that.
No. And he prances up and down the
No
touchline,
way.
doesn't he, as well,
That
Carly?
must be like what is that?
You had Gianfranco Zola as your manager. That would only been a little drink, though, wouldn't it? You'd have been all right with that.
Yeah, this been a shot.
Jace, I mean, those pictures, amazing. Lee Parker, by the way, superb as usual, absolutely top draw.
Yeah.
But being in the dressing room, being amongst it, the manager coming in there, you see how much the players are enjoying it. Jorginho saying you can't put it into words. You can't, which is why it's been an emotional end to the show, because you can't, can you? It's the biggest prize in club football. It's the biggest prize in club football, and Chelsea are the champions of Europe.
Yeah, and as we've found out over the years, you do need a little bit of luck, a bit of good fortune, things to go your way. Maybe a good 45 minutes, and you know, you might struggle perhaps in another 45. You might miss a lot of chances, which we have done, and managed to get over the line. But I think when you think about when Tuchel came in after Frank was released, I didn't see where I thought the best our season could be was maybe an FA Cup, maybe top 4. I've got to be honest with you guys. I didn't. Champions League was an obstacle that we had to deal with as and when it turned up. The most important thing is getting out of this slump, get up into the top 4 if we can, start pushing in and around with the big heads, and get through the next round of the FA Cup. When the Champions League come round, of course, that was an added bonus, and it turned out to be the biggest thing in our season. Just truly. Another, as I said, we're a remarkable football club. No one else does Champions League trophies like we do.
No one does it. Well, only club in London to have not 1 but 2 of them now. Carl. And this is, it's like Jason said. No other football club does it like this. No other football club can be written off so many times in a season because people think there's too much going on. You know, they changed the manager. They're miles off the pace for the top 4. You draw Atletico Madrid. I don't see them getting past that. You draw Real Madrid in the semi-final. That's going to be a tough ask. They know how to get there. They're beating Liverpool to get there as well. You get Man City in the final. It's Man City, they're the best team in Europe at the moment. But every step, Chelsea fans always do believe, whether it be a little bit biased or blue-tinted spectacles, but Chelsea fans do believe.
It's not about just believing, it's about what you're seeing to believe in. Like when it did turn around and you saw what Tuchel brought to the team and to the club, then you started to get a little bit more faith, and you start seeing yourself climbing up the table. Then you start seeing good performances, then you start seeing a structure and people working for each other, and then it's all gelled together. And then now you can see when you get past Real Madrid, you beat Liverpool, beat Real Madrid, then you're starting to think, do you know what? We might be onto something here. And we've only got 2 more rounds to go, so we get to, is it PSG? Beat PSG convincingly.
When, this year?
Yeah.
No.
City beat PSG, but to beat Real Madrid, beat Atletico.
At the bridge, the last one before the Champions League final. When you saw that one, and then I was thinking to myself, maybe this could actually work. And then that's why I came out. When I woke up this morning, I knew I was coming in. I knew you'd be nervous, but I wasn't nervous. I was thinking, do you know what? I know there's something in it, because the way the season's gone, and for it to finish like this, it's just written in the stars. I kind of knew it before.
Abby, we said in the build-up to this, and we said it all the way through, really, usually the team that wins the big trophies are the teams that defend the best, that don't concede the goals. Very rarely do you see a team outscore everyone and go all the way, because eventually they get undone. Chelsea defensively, since Thomas Tuchel has taken over, have been the best team in the competition. And that's the reason that they're lifting the trophy tonight. Yeah,
just been an incredible defensive unit. I mean, some of the tackles that were made today, they can't be underestimated, because that made sure that we won the game. That block from Rudiger, Christensen's block we've also spoken about, he sort of just pulled that out of nowhere. Just as a unit, they were phenomenal. Yes, you've got like a leader in like Thiago Silva in the back, but then it's like he gets taken off, Christensen steps in and is also brilliant. Thomas Tuchel has really made them defensively even stronger than they ever were. So many, clean sheets and stuff. And yeah, that's what's given us a great season and probably won us this final.
I don't want to skip past tonight, Jace, but what a base that gives you for next season. That defensive stability. That's because again, who knows? Thomas Tuchel is a genius. I mean, not only are we going to have 2 Champions League trophies, I think we should have his brain in the museum because it's something to be studied and worshipped because he's just incredible. But defensively, I think we know how Chelsea are going to set up now because it's worked so well. You've won a Champions League with it. If you've got defensively set up right, if you know that you're not going to go into it, you don't have to worry about scoring 3 or 4. You can go into games thinking, well, they've got to break us down. They're going to struggle to do that. Is that the easiest part of the game to work out? Or is it the other way around? Would you prefer it to be in a situation where you're scoring freely and then you've got to work out how to fix it about? Because Thomas Tuchel seems to have got the balance nearly right in terms of, Well,
we don't... What we've done here, we've won this without having a natural number 9. We don't have a Didier Drogba. We don't have a Costa. We don't have that type of player up top. And he's had to find a way to work with the squad that he's got. I wonder whether we might see a different Chelsea. And I think he's worked with the squad. He can't go to the transfer market. He's looked at the players he's got. He's looked at how he's going to set up defensively. We're not going to score many goals. So therefore, if we're not going to score many, we can't concede many. So I think he's worked from that way forward. So he's defensively been solid and made sure that we are tough to break down. Therefore, 1 goal can always win us a game. Next season, there's plenty of rumours about who we're linked with and who we might go and sign in the summer. If we go and sign a number 9, you might see a different Chelsea. You might actually see a little bit more adventurous Chelsea, knowing that actually we've got more goals in us. We do have a natural number 9. Therefore, those chances that we create and we do might be finished off. Therefore, we might not only win a game by keeping a clean sheet. We might can score 2 or 3 as opposed to having to score 1. So he's got a nice base to work off, but who knows what Chelsea will see.
I think this season he had to come in and he had to first and foremost stop the leaking goals. So you've got to consolidate and you make sure that you're tight defensively. Then once you've done that, then you can start adding the little bits and start working your way up the pitch. If Timo Werner was on form this season, he'd probably been further up the table this season. Probably would have won this game by more in this season as well. So it would have been very convincing. But because haven't got quite that forward line right just yet, he's just had to work with what he's got, and he's done a stellar job, and he's made sure everybody knows their jobs and their roles defensively. Then next season, as you said, he might bring in somebody that... Because remember, these players are not his players. So he's had to implement his style, make these players believe in him first. Then after that, he has to try and find them, get them to start scoring goals or going forward with his philosophy. So next season, he's going to have he's got a great base to work from now. The only way could be up, and look what he's done with what he's had in front of him. It's just it's remarkable.
I'd be like Carlton's saying, this is the start of something. I mean, Timo Werner, for example, his first season in English football. If the goals that Timo Werner was the VAR decisions or the offside calls or the disallowed goals, I think he'd have had 26 goals this season. He won 5 penalties. He'd have had 10, 15 assists. You talk about a player that, same as Kai Havertz, same as Christian Pulisic, learning a new system under a new manager. For Kai and Timo, a new way of life, moving in the middle of a pandemic and the COVID complications we have with Kai. For those players to have such a difficult season, but one that finishes like this, to go on next season, that's a one, like Carlton said, it's a wonderful base to start with.
Yeah, imagine this being your debut season. Some players never even get to a Champions League final, and you can say you've won it and you were part of the squad that did that. It's just absolutely amazing, and I think we're starting to see the best of Ziyech and Pulisic and Werner, but like you say, such an amazing base to grow from. I feel like next season we're going to see these players really start to shine, and I'm very excited about that.
It's amazing, Joe, Jason, isn't it? Because it's Hakim Ziyech, part of that brilliant Ajax side that went so close but didn't quite get it done, got knocked out in the semi-final. Timo Werner, remember, didn't play in the knockout phase for RB Leipzig last year because he agreed to sign for Chelsea on July the 1st, so wasn't a part of that. For those kind of players to come in from teams that have had opportunities and not quite been able to get over the line for whatever reason, this is their first season. They've come here to... Because that would have been, the brief. That's absolutely right. You come to Chelsea, you come to win the big prizes, you come to win the biggest of the lot. This is the biggest of the lot, and they've done it. Yeah,
Ben Chilwell can throw in that mix as well. I mean, he left Leicester, of course, and they got top 4 football. Looked like they're going to get top 4, won the FA Cup, of course, and that would have been a bit of pressure on him to go in today, knowing that he left the side, that picked up an FA Cup winners' medal. It just, this squad of players here, there's a real nice blend of the experience of players like Aspie and Thiago at the back, but you've got that young exuberance of youth, if you like, of players like Reece and Mace. Also, you've got players in and around the squad that add something as well. You look what Alonso's got. It's a real... It's just, I can't believe it. It's just unbelievable.
Thiago Silva's made those defenders better.
Yeah, 100%.
So defensively, Thiago Silva has added to that. He didn't even have to. He doesn't even have to play to make them better. Having someone like him,
Andreas is an example of that.
Yeah, he's obviously coaching them every day in training of what they should be doing because he's seen it, he's done it, he's won it. So he knows exactly what these boys need, and the guidance. And that is Thomas Tuchel. That's a big plus for him because he's used him because he knows a player like that, what he brings to the squad. He's used him to the best he can, and now they're lifting up trophies and they're defensively sound.
Just little game to play because I've just clocked it. Can you see Thomas Tuchel in that? Because I've just seen him.
Yeah, back there. He looks
right in the corner.
I think maybe
right
he looks like a fan.
He looks like a fan.
That's so funny.
That's going to be in the megastore. That's going to be a fine Tuchel. He's going to have so many others all popping up at the back. But again, so much a part of it, and Abby, he's done so much to transform this club. We spoke about his honesty and how brilliant he is when he speaks about everything, but you cannot help but buy into what he says and what he talks about. And for a manager to have been there last year, an amazing quote that I do hope is going to resurface now, because there was I think it was after the semi-final, and a reporter said to him, that it's amazing, you're the first manager to go to 2 Champions League finals back-to-back with 2 different clubs. You must be brilliant. And he said, if I was brilliant, I'd have probably been there with 2 clubs and one club, just me. And you think that's the humility and the honesty that you see. And as a player, when you see that, as a fan, when you see that, someone like him leading your football club, you can't help but buy into it, can you?
Yeah, he's a very humble, hard-working guy, and you can tell he's such a student of the game, isn't it? The fact that he's outsmarted Pep 3 times now, it's just incredible. And you could see tactically what he was trying to do, and the fact that we pulled it off. And I think he's great, isn't he? He lives and breathes Chelsea now. He's talking about it all the time, and when he's doing press conferences and things like that, he's showing his support to the women's team and the development squad and things like that. He's a brilliant leader for our team, for sure.
Incredible. There's so many things that we could talk about. There really is. I mean, this is a night that we're going to relive time and time again, and I'm more than happy to do that time and time again.
Me too.
I feel like the goal, it feels like so long ago, but you think of how the composure that Kai Havertz shows to take it round him and everything like that, just incredible.
Come of age. I mean, we talk about with what he's been through personally on a journey he's been through over the last 12 months. Huge transfer fee. It was one that went on. It was one of those long drawn out transfers. Stories that went on and on and on. Eventually we signed him. Huge fee. A generational talent. Come from a different culture, different style of football, different country. Got COVID throughout lockdown. Very difficult. And he's had his problems. Let's be honest, we've not seen the best of him yet. We started seeing flashes. I would say probably last 2 or 3 months. I've started to see a change in his game. The look of a player that's, okay, I'm now seeing little bits of certainly when he came off the bench against Villa, I thought he was excellent, and today scoring a winning goal in a Champions League final. I mean, that is Roy of the Rovers right there.
Just absolutely amazing, isn't it? It's absolutely amazing. I mean, I feel like we could go on all night, but I don't think we can, to be honest with you, because I think there's so many people. It's been a magnificent, historic, incredible, very, very special night. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you to Jason, Carlton, Abby. Thank you to the team in Porto. Thank you so much to every single one of those 25 and Thomas Tuchel's coaching staff. Chelsea are champions of Europe.